This is a quick summary of our latest release on 10th of October 2025. So we've got a new agency template for Studio using Bootstrap 5. We have a Studio update, version 1.7. And then finally, we have custom fields on company information. So we'll take a look at that first. That's the Siteglide feature. The rest is Studio related. So on company information, it's a really useful area and tool to be able to have some site-wide content such as logos, company address, phone number, that kind of stuff, and have them updated across the site. So your customer would just need to fill in these sections here. But until now, you might have wanted to add a second phone number or some other information, and you wouldn't be able to do that. So now, under the Structure tab, you're able to either amend these or add a new field and call it new custom field. You've got all the normal types of fields that we have in Siteglide, so I'll pick a fairly powerful one, so data source. And I'll say that you can pull in items from the blog. I can't think of a use case for that, but just an example. We're going to improve the UX on this, but we wanted to get it out quickly. So currently there's a button called Save Structure. It'll be orange if there's some changes. You do need to click that, not the Save button. Again, we'll make that button more obvious and update that ASAP. So if I click Save, you can then switch back to values. And you'll see right at the bottom where I've got my custom field and I can pull in my data sources. You can also then decide to pull that field up to the top. You can't put it quite at the top. There's those first two there, but then if you put it there, you'll see these items. So you've got full control now of company information and custom fields. Right, next up, I'm going to show off our latest templates for Studio. If you haven't really used Studio much, or you haven't seen, we've got a whole library of templates, but the latest one is for Bootstrap using Bootstrap 5. So it's this agency template. It's got animation built in. It's all fully baked into Siteglide. So you've got a web app here for projects, got some services sections, content, team that's using the author's web app maps to that, although with Studio you can very easily change the mapping, which I'll show you in a second, and then some more static content as well, and then some more dynamic bits, as well as blog, and then finally forms, and I'll show you how that works with dynamic content too. Lots of pages to this site. It's quite a big site, great place to start if you're in favor of Bootstrap and maybe looking at doing your own agency website as well, or something of this style. So in Portal, you can use this template right now. Just go to Marketplace and either select templates as the category, search for agency, or you'll actually see it straight away because it begins with A. It's alphabetical. So just create yourself a site and give that a test and give us some feedback. We'll jump into a version I made earlier. So if we jump over to here, so we'll have different videos on Studio itself, but if you're familiar with Studio, you would go to Pages as normal, and then if it's using a Studio template, which this is, then you'll see the Studio tab appear. I'll very quickly look at the themes just to cover that for anybody who hasn't used it. But within themes, because it's Bootstrap, it's slightly different to the Tailwind ones we've done before. We don't have the color pickers at the moment because that's slightly different in Bootstrap, how that works, but you can manage your theme styling, so head scripts, that kind of stuff, custom CSS, and any settings as well. One thing we've done recently in this release is you can comment out some code that you don't want to apply to the previews. So for example, you'd hide any animations from section previews because otherwise they won't load as well. So just things like that. We'll have docs on how to use that. But yeah, this is the theme area. So you'd be able to style this. You can change your colors and everything. But we're going to do more to make that a bit more user friendly like we have in Tailwind. Jumping across to pages. Let's have a look at the home page. So here we have a video background. If I click that, that will open up that first section, full hero. You can change the video to an image or other videos, content areas. Let's just have a look at a couple of sections here. So this is using a data source to the project's web app. So you can always control this. You can click the pencil on the side to link it up to something else. In this case, I'm going to show you the new feature somewhere else. So yeah, you could manage all of that. If we scroll down, we'll get to the Meet the Team section. So I'm going to click on this one. And if we go to team members, you'll see that that is set using the authors module, which makes sense. They're the people in the team that you'd have maybe using for blog posts as well. We just click the mapping button. You'll see that now we can switch to other modules. We've had this for a while, web apps, but now we've got categories appear. So if I select categories, I can then do my mapping. Again, we'll have separate videos on how to handle this if you've not done it before, but you'll now see that that's pulling in 2 category items, and you would then be able to filter that down further if you only wanted certain items. So this is really, really useful for maybe you're trying to make a menu system, or you're listing out products, categories, that kind of stuff. Really, really powerful addition to the data source area. Yeah, give this template a spin. There's some other important updates to Studio as well, just some bug fixing and just making everything a little bit more user-friendly. So yeah, we welcome any feedback. We really recommend, given the changes, the speed at which we're changing Studio, starting afresh from templates at the moment. So I'd recommend going to the agency template or any of the others and creating a site from there and giving it a spin. Thank you.